Hello and welcome to this week's Funnyfarm pod. I was going to say Funny Farm. Anyway, yeah, it's a guest episode this week, and I'm dead excited because we've got the guy off from Superman 2. Dale,
Hello.
I suppose. Have you ever been? Dale, we have Dale on. Dale Andre, actually. No relation to Peter, I take it. No?
No, no, not at all. No, I get that quite a lot actually.
No, I was lifting my shirt up before and showing Chris me left breast thing as mysterious girl. Um,
Yeah,
but
that's horrible. I'm glad that you missed that, Dale.
when you got on before, could you tell where you're from? And we thought, I reckon you were American with the name Dale
Yeah,
Andre. But when you come on the screen, you're the spit of the. Remember, was it Superman 2?
Yeah,
When they had them three baddies?
yeah, General Zog.
It was a General Zog.
Thinks.
Right, so I don't know if you've seen it, Dale. One of the very old
no,
Superman
I
films.
haven't.
You're younger than us, so it's probably going right over your head.
Yeah, yeah, I
How
have not
old
seen
are
any
you,
of
Dale?
Superman. Sorry, I'm
How old are
33.
you?
Just turned 33
Yes,
33 last week.
yes,
Oh
that's
wow!
well before
Happy
your
belated
time.
birthday.
Yeah.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
Dale, I've been spouting shit for the last couple of minutes. Um, do you want to tell us where you're from and what you do and what you're up to, and just about anything you want to chat about, mate?
Yeah, well, I live in South Wales, in like sort of like a Philly area, close to Newport. Um, I'm a comedian part time. I mean, I've done new material nights since January 2025. I've always wanted to get into comedy from a young age, though. I grew up watching comedy. I mean, my dad was born in the 60s, and so I grew up watching like Laurel and Hardy, Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, um, all the classics back then. Um, and then sort of I started watching like live stand-up comedy. And it's just something I always wanted to get into. But I was a chef for like 16 years, and with that industry, it is quite difficult. I mean, they work weekends and nights and things like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm glad I'm out of that industry now, to be honest, so I can focus a bit more on comedy.
Who's your all time then? So like big influences in comedy, top three stand ups that you kind of that
Well,
inspired you to get on stage and do it.
there's always the classics that people mention, like Lee Evans. Um, John Bishop is one of them. I like Mickey Flanagan. There's so many I could mention. Like just to name three is quite difficult for me. Um, but
I
yeah,
love Mickey Flanagan.
there's
He's
I
one of
mean
my
there's
goats.
yeah, he's hilarious. But I also like the older ones, so like Bill Hicks.
Yeah,
He was great. Um, and
yeah.
yeah, there's a few others I can't think of off the top
Is
of my head,
is,
but
is
yeah,
Mickey
I mean there's
Flanagan
loads.
that Cockney guy?
That's him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mickey
with like
Flanagan.
like hair like mine. If I took my
Oh
hair
yeah, yeah,
down, it'd probably have.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he's the one who's got we going out or we going out.
that's the one.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the one.
Class.
yeah,
My kind of top. I think Mickey might be in the top three for me of like TV comics. It'd be Ricky Gervais,
Yeah.
uh, Jimmy Carr,
Oh yeah,
and
obviously.
and
Yeah.
yeah, they're the three for me
I also
at the
like
moment.
I also like Glenn Moore. So I watched his most recent special, and his writing is very clever. The way that he done his show, like I was fascinated by how he'd written it, and it was so clever. I think it was called "Will You Still Need Me? Will You Still Feed Me?" Glenn, I'm 60 more.
There's a picture on Facebook knocking about of me when I did the Comedy Store Manchester Gong Show, King
Oh,
Gong. I think it was
oh wow, nice.
2012. And there's pictures, so there's me talking to Mick Ferry, and at the side of me is Glenn Moore, who
Oh,
won the Gong.
wow.
Um, Class
Oh,
act, mate.
wow.
I mean, he
Yeah.
won last week, wasn't he, last week?
Pardon?
They say he was on Mock the Week, the last, on the summer specials.
I've been watching.
Brilliant.
I've been watching all of them. Yeah, I've been recording them. Talking about competitions, I'm actually up in Manchester next month on the 17th doing Beat the Frog.
Ah, have you done it before,
Yeah,
Dale?
first time. No, no, first
This
time.
is your first one. Yeah, I've done
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I've done it
I'm looking
twice.
forward to it.
What type of comedy do you do? Is it dark comedy? I mean, Crystal's shit comedy. You know what? What?
um,
What?
so
What sort of like genre is it?
I'd say observational. Some like some one-liners. So other comedians have said like, "Oh, you do one-liners, they're difficult," and I was like, I didn't know I'd done one-liners, and two, I didn't know it was that difficult. It's just when whenever I walk in or something, I think of something funny. I'm like, "Oh, write it down. Maybe go into a set." So I tend to do sets. Like I've done a set on being a chef for 16 years, and like it they are sort of one-liner jokes, but it's all related to the chef industry sort of thing. Like I don't do individual one-liners that are not based on a certain subject.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, just rewinding back to your chef industry. I mean, I've worked in kitchens when I was younger,
Oh,
and
you know
it's
how difficult it
it's
is.
fucking split shifts. I mean, like when Gordon Ramsay first came out, and like everybody was
Yeah,
saying, "Oh my God, look at the way he speaks to me." That's what it's like in a kitchen. That's what it's
yeah, and the
fucking
chefs
like.
copy him. Exactly. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's terrible because
Every kitchen. You know, Gordon Ramsay isn't like a one-off. That's what kitchens are like. You know.
yeah, I know, but I could
yeah,
imagine you in any workspace, Charlie, it'd make me swear like him.
yeah.
When I'm
No,
rubbing
it's
myself against your leg.
so Charlie, you know that with it's a fast-paced industry, like long shifts, like
Yeah,
12-hour days and stuff. You start like in the winter time, you start when it's dark, you finish when it's dark. Sometimes there's no
yeah,
windows in the kitchen. Um, there's
yeah,
no
yeah,
social life. My friends started getting fed up of asking me to do things with them, go places, because whenever they'd ask, I'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm working." "Oh, Dale, you coming out this Saturday?" "No, I'm working." And then in the end, they just got fed up. You lose your social life. I've lost
yeah.
relationships because they just can't deal with not seeing each other basically.
So you decided to become a comedian who worked predominantly at
Yeah,
night and at weekends.
I think yeah, but I think that being a comedian, like regardless of the hours of writing jokes and things like that, it's probably the only profession I can think of where you get instant gratification. So, regardless of all the writing, but as soon as you get up on that stage, you get that first laugh. It's like, and then you finish your set, big applause. You wouldn't get that from your head chef after a 12-hour shift, would you, Charlie?
No, no, no.
No, not at
I
all.
mean,
It's not even
in
a
the
funny
kitchen. I
gig.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, talking about the hours because you can do split shifts. So if they
Yeah,
have a breakfast service, you could go in of a morning, then the next minute you could be in overnight, or you can go in at lunchtime and then be in overnight. You'd have split shifts, and it's a pain in the arse. And plus the fact, I mean, you enjoy doing comedy, so it's not like a job for you, is it? It's something you enjoy, so
no.
it doesn't even feel like a job. You're the same, aren't you, Chris? It's just
I, I,
like.
I love it.
I
Yeah.
did enjoy cooking. I did enjoy cooking. I still enjoy cooking at home now. The only thing I didn't like was the arsehole chefs, basically. They were just being arseholes for no reason. There's no need for it. I've worked in kitchens where there's no screaming, no shouting. The food goes out. Worked in kitchens where they're screaming, shouting, stressing. The food goes out. So it's like, it works either way. Which environment would I rather work in? Well, I know it works without the screaming and shouting. I'd rather work in that, but it's very difficult to find. I think in my whole 16-year career, I've maybe just, you know, been in two kitchens where, all the chefs actually get on. There's no
Yeah,
screaming or shouting. No, it does get a bit stressy now and again because it's a fast-paced environment. But you I enjoy the cooking side of it. I just didn't like the
yeah,
chefs being assholes basically.
Yeah. I could never work in a kitchen because, as we've discussed on a previous pod, I've got a bit of a morbid fascination with killing people. I'd like to have a go. So putting me in a kitchen with a bell end chef and a load of knives wouldn't go well, I don't think.
Yeah, well,
It will drive you to it, mate. Yeah, it will drive you to it. I mean, when you've done 3 back-to-back AFDs, like AFD stands for all fucking day, and that's what it would be written on the rota. I don't know if you know this, Charlie. If you see AFD on the rota, it means that you come in when you open and you leave when the job is done. That's it. There's no
yeah,
point putting like 7 a.m. start to 10 p.m. start because then most chefs would be like, oh, I finish at 10. But if you've had a busy day,
yeah,
clean down can take up to 2 hours. So AFD means
exactly,
you are there
exactly.
until the bitter end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
but
your
yeah,
clean
when
down's
you
just
work
important.
when you work 3 AFDs like back to back in a row, Chris, like you start to lose yourself a little bit. I used to do this funny trick sometimes in some kitchens. If I'd done 3 AFDs back to back, maybe a minimum of 5 hours sleep between each shift. I'd stand in the middle of the kitchen, sort of swaying. I'd be like, "Could someone answer the phone, please?" And I'd just be like, "Dale, there's no phone ringing." I'd be like, "Answer the phone, please," and they're like, "Just go home, go on, go."
That's out there for everyone to know now.
Oh yeah, yeah, give that a go. Any chefs watching, give that a go. It works 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, yeah. So, how did you like? Obviously, you've liked comedy for a long time. You've got some heroes. You like watching the sitcoms and that as a kid. Me as well. I got told in the pub I was funny and should have a go at stand up. So it's a very, very common thing there. And I did it, got on stage, and it was fucking awful the first time I did it. I did a gong show, first ever gig. And I got gonged off at 2 minutes, which was, you got a grace of 2 minutes. It was the first opportunity they had to get rid of me, and I was gone. But I still got like a couple of belly laughs. I still got a couple of belly laughs in that couple of minutes, so I got the bug for it. What about yourself? Did you do a course? Did you read a book? Did you just go for it? How did you come about getting on stage?
So I signed up to do Ultra in December 2024. Unfortunately, I had to drop out because I couldn't sell the tickets. Like, so basically, all my family are in England except for my mum. My brother's in the States, so we wouldn't be able to attend. Most of my friends are still in the chefing industry as well, so December for them is no go. There's no chance they'll get time off during Christmas time. So I wouldn't have been able to sell the amount of tickets they required. So I had to drop out. A friend of mine that I worked with when I was 18 did uh, Ultra the year before. And I asked him, like, I want to get into comedy. How would I do it? He said, introduce yourself on the South Wales Comedy Forum and then see how you go. So I introduced myself, said that I've basically been writing anything I thought was funny. I've been writing it down for 2 years prior. And a guy who runs the project in Caerphilly, Ian, I'll always be grateful because he gave me my first ever 5 minutes on stage. He said, we're fully booked for this year, but come back next year. Gave me my first 5 minutes on stage in January, and since then I got hooked. Like no one tells you that comedy is addictive. It should come with a
Mm.
warning.
Yeah, it's definitely addictive. And what level are you at now? A year and a half in. What kind of level are you at now? Are you kind of breaking into bits of paid stuff? Are you getting on pro bills?
So I'm still doing new material nights. I'm trying to get into paid spots, like even 20 quid for a middle or something like that. But I'm also promoting. I run my own, well, co-host my own nights in South Wales with a good friend of mine that I met through comedy. It's called Road Test Comedy. Um,
Okay.
we started in March this year. Started in March this year at a Newbridge hotel, and then we've just started at a new site in Caerphilly about 2 months ago.
Brilliant. See, a lot of new comedians do that. I did. I set a gig up when I first started. A couple of gigs which I emceed myself and stuff. I know from speaking to Gareth, he kind of said there's not an awful lot in South Wales, so you tend to find that that's the way to get started. A lot of people set their own nights up and do each other's. I know that Sheffield's got a lot of that going on, and Nottingham there's a lot of new nights. But yeah, I mean, the fact is, it's really tough out there. It's like I started 15 years ago, but I did 2 to 3 years, and then I had to quit because of work. Work got in the way,
Yeah,
and then I did it on and off.
COVID didn't help
I
either.
came, say again.
I suppose COVID didn't help either, did it?
No. I wasn't gigging during COVID though. I'd done bits and bobs on and off. So COVID didn't affect me. I just watched loads of comedy online during COVID. Um, and
Yeah.
then I came back in November 24. So I'm coming up to about a year and a half back in, almost 2 years back in. But obviously I had a bit of I'd done it a bit before. So starting to get on a bit now, progressing a little bit, but yeah, it's good. What's your set length now? Are you kind of doing 10s, 15s, 20s?
So I done a 15 last month at our opening night in Caerphilly. I'm always trying to write new material, so like I've got a pretty strong, I say a strong 10, um, and adequate 15. And I'm currently working on a new 15 set now from like all material that I've tried out and things. Because I know that a lot of comedians, they'll, work the hell out of their first 5 minutes for a few months. Whereas I'm like, well, I've got all this material, I just want to try it out differently. So rather than trying to practice the 5 minutes over and over again, I sort of was like, oh, okay, that 5 minutes went well. Let's try another one at the next night. And then I've managed to build a 15 minutes then from about a year and a half ago.
That's the way to do it, mate. That's the way to do it. And
Cheers.
it all
I think,
sometimes I guess it.
sorry, sorry, carry on.
Oh, did I cut out? Sorry. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it, isn't it? Work to get a solid five, then get a solid 10, and there's
Yeah,
I think writing new material is my like I struggle like just sit. I find sitting down and with a pen and paper and doing that. So I tend to riff stuff on stage. I'll come up with an idea and stick it in the middle of whatever I'm doing and try and riff it a little bit. If it works, I work on it and keep doing that. Um, but I think like you've got because there's a difference, isn't there? Like when you look at acts out there, there's people who go, yeah, I've got 20 minutes, and they'll go and do 20 minutes, and they've not really got 20 minutes. They'll have a 10
yeah,
which
yeah,
they've padded into a 15 or a 20, and so I think it's key that yeah, and certainly when you go and start doing tryout spots at clubs and stuff, the whole thing's got to be solid. And it's hard, isn't it? Because I mean you probably need to write an hour's worth of material to get 5 or 10 minutes that's decent out of
exactly.
that.
That's what I've
It's tough.
that's what I've been doing. Yeah, I've basically like I probably had about half an hour to 45 minutes of material that I've had to reduce or take bits out or try and add in a new joke and try and see if that works and stuff. And then yeah, out of nearly an hour's worth of material, I've probably got a strong 15 then. But when you were
Yeah,
saying about Gareth saying that there's not a lot in South Wales, this is why I overheard comedians say before, saying at a gig that, oh, there's so many people that want to try it these days, but there's not a lot of nights on. So I thought to myself, well, there's something to be done there. So that's why me and Darius spoke to each other about putting on our own night. There's nothing comedy-wise in our sort of valley. So from Newport up to Ebervale is like the train line, and there was nothing for comedy wise. There is a Newport, but up towards the Ebervale, like up the valley, there's nothing. So we thought, oh, well, let's try put one on Newbridge, and yeah, it seems to be working. We do it on the first Tuesday of every month, and we get a regular audience in and stuff. Some brilliant
that's
acts.
good. Oh, that's really. I think it's like there's. I met. I don't know if you know. He was on telly years ago. Bob Mills. So he was on Win, Lose or Draw. I think was his TV program, but he was a comedian back in the day. And I met him at an. It was a comedian of the year final in Derby. I wasn't in it. I didn't get through to the final. I got to the semis, but I went to support a couple of the acts that I knew, and I spoke to him briefly, and he basically turned around. It was after the six acts had gone on in the final, and he said if they'd have started back in the 70s and 80s when I started, all of those acts would be headlining clubs. He said because there was so many clubs, but so
Yeah,
few. So there'd be like 100 clubs and 400 acts. So it's like every club needed 4 acts, so everybody got work. And he basically said you didn't have to be
yeah,
good, you didn't even have to be that good to
yeah.
get. So
You'd have
Yeah,
thrived then, Chris.
I think we all we all would, mate. I mean, we all would. It literally, it's like wading through treacle. Sometimes you apply for 100 gigs and get two. You know, it's you
yeah,
just got to keep going and going. It's like literally, I think survival of the fittest. And I've quit a few times. You know, what I mean, I've got to a point where I thought, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I've done that 2 or 3 times. And it literally is. And then you see some of the acts that you were working with back in the day, like Scott Bennett. If you've been watching Mock the Week, I used to do car shares
oh
with Scott.
yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's
He's
awesome,
brilliant.
mate. Really good. He's a really nice guy. We used to car share. He'd
Yeah,
go and do an FB spot or something, and he'd get me the open 10. So I used to go and do that with him. I booked him to close a gig that we did I think he did it 3 or 4 times. And then I had another night which he closed as well. So Scott, and he started a couple of months before me. I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that if I'd have carried on, I'd have been anywhere close to his level, because he's just that guy is supernatural. He's brilliant,
yeah, he's mad. I follow
and
him on
he, he's
Facebook.
but he's probably the hardest working comedian that I've ever met.
Oh wow.
Like Mike was saying, Spiky Mike, who runs gongs and stuff. Well, he runs loads of clubs, but for a newer act, it's a gong show you apply for. And he was saying that every time Scott turns up to do a gig for him, it's always 15 minutes of new stuff that he does. And he says generally, you know, it all works. It's like he's just so good. He's got it down to a T. He works hard. He's got 2 tour shows going at the same time. And I think I read that his current 2 shows, Blood Sugar Baby and stuff, finish in 2027, and he's got another one to go straight after that. So it's like
Wow.
unreal. But these people deserve to be where they are because they've worked so hard. Like Adam Rowe is another one who I really like. He's a Liverpudlian
Yeah, he's one of my
comedian.
favourites.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
I like
brilliant,
Adam.
superb. Um, I've got tickets to see his show in Rhyl, actually, in North Wales. Um,
Oh, lovely.
my parents live up there, so yeah. Um, but yeah, it's
Oh,
just like literally the only piece of advice I would give to like new comedians is just keep going. If you love it, just keep doing it, and get the stage time, and just keep going, because I didn't, and I don't know where I would have been if I'd have kept going. Maybe
yeah,
nowhere, but
I'm having fun with it now, and it gives me a quality of life. Anyway, it's something to focus on, something to enjoy. Um, yeah, like I said before, like comedy is the only job that I know of pretty much where you just get instant gratification. Um, and my first 5 minutes on stage, I remember it. Like, I won't watch the video back now as well. I had some really good laughs, um, but it's difficult for me to watch back because I wanted to get off that stage as quick as possible. It was like the longest 5 minutes of my life. I was treading on my laughs. So when I would
yeah.
watch it back, people were proper laughing, and I was just trying to carry on with my set. 'Cause I wanted to try and remember it, and I rushed it a little bit, but yeah, it was fun. And I mean, I'm still doing it now. It was a scary experience, but I've learned from it, and I'm still carrying on with it.
What's your writing process? How do you come up with stuff? Is it literally like I basically, if I think of something, I write in a notepad, and then if it
I
if I ever get work on it.
if I'm out walking or anything, and I think of something funny, or I'm laying in bed watching telly, I'll quickly put it on my notes on my phone. Um, so when you asked, did I do any courses and stuff? I done a course last year with Drew Taylor and Phil Cooper. I don't know
Okay.
if you know them.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So I done a course. No. Okay. So done a course with them last year, and it was a 6 week course, but like ultra Gallagher at the end. And Drew always said, make sure you write down anything you think that's funny. Write it down on like a piece of paper or notes or in your hand or something, because you will forget it. But make sure you write out in long form, like a sentence, because if you write it as a quick note, then you'll forget what it's about and everything. So that's what I do. I write on my notes on my phone as like a paragraph or a quick sentence that I've, whatever I've thought of. Then if I build up, like I've got sections of my notes, like I've labeled it, like say for example, one's about chefing, the other's about moving from England to Wales, and then once I've built up enough material in them, I'll sit down and then I'll try and write a whole set out of it. Then my rule of thumb is a little A6 notepad. One page is 1 minute. So if I'm trying to write a 5 minute set, I try and write 5 pages. If I'm doing a 10 minute, I'll try and write 10 pages.
Mm. Well, that's good.
It
Good.
must be really hard because you say you do one-liners. So
Sort of, yeah. It's like I'll build a whole set, like a 5 minute set based on one particular subject. But
right,
I'm when you watch like these comedians like telling stories and stuff, I find it difficult to think of things like that. But it would just be like short, sharp, punchy jokes, but all linked to one
right,
subject.
yeah,
You probably do well at the Gong Show in Manchester. You know, one-liner, quick gags usually do quite well in the Gong shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like carry on.
Sorry, go on.
No, I
I
was
just
just going
find
to
that it's
say,
easier.
yeah,
It's easier to write quick,
it's.
short,
Sorry,
sharp,
I
punchy
I
jokes.
think I think we've got a little bit of a delay on the audio.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
will it will clear up. So I'll try to not jump in, mate. Sorry, carry on.
That's right. No, I just find it easier for me just to write the short, sharp, punchy jokes. Like Drew Taylor said to me in the comedy course that if it's when you're telling a joke, it's like blowing up a balloon. Like if you spend ages blowing up a balloon, then you want a big bang, like a big laugh at the end of it. But then if you're blowing up this balloon for a while, and then you just get an at the end of it, or there's no big bang, it's sort of like oh. So yes, I try and keep it short.
That sounds that sounds very much like it's out of the Adam Bloom book. That have you heard of the
Um,
Adam Bloom?
It could well be because Drew did recommend to buy that book. Yeah, for me to buy that book.
Buy it, 100% buy it.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah,
I bought the book, read it twice. I'm not much of a reader, so it has to grip me. And then I discovered Audible, and then Adam's book went on Audible, so I bought it again, and I listened to it quite a bit. It's if you've got all your stuff written out in long form, and then you go through the Adam Bloom book, he'll show you like how to shorten stuff down, get rid of dead stuff, how to make it put the words in the right way. It's very kind of, I suppose,
yeah,
scientific. He's a very intelligent guy,
yeah.
and he's a lovely guy. I did his course as well. He does a 2 day masterclass on the book, which was brilliant, absolutely fabulous. Um, a lot of one-liner comedians, just to go back, a lot of one-liner comedians that I've spoken to often start with the punchline. So the punchline will be the first thing they have, and then they work the joke backwards. Do you do that, or is that
Sometimes
something
I
that
do
you?
that. Yeah, sometimes I've thought of a punchline before, and like something that could be funny, and I'm like, right, okay, so I need to think of like something to go with it now to build it up. Yeah, now and again, if I hear something funny or I see something funny, I'm like, right, okay, how can I work that into a joke?
Yeah, my stuff's more situational. So a lot of the stuff I do, I'm not a storyteller per se. I kind of do little anecdotal stuff, but I do chuck in some short form stuff as well. Um, but yeah, most of my segments in my kind of set, and I've done up to 40 minutes. Most of the segments they do come from like kind of true stories and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah,
I do a bit about punching above my weight in my relationship, which is it's a true story. Somebody said I was punching, and then I kind of formulate a story around that. So it's like a bit different for me. But yeah, I've never done the whole punch backwards kind of method. I've never tried that. I've never wanted to be a one-liner comedian,
Yeah.
because I think for memory-wise, I don't think I'd be able to do it. There's somebody at my door. I'm going to have to just run for 1 sec. Just talk between yourselves. I'll be back. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
But what he's actually gone to do, Dale, is probably either to have a fag at the back door. He likes having fags in the back door, or he's gone to consult his notes, because he's a bit of a shit comedian, to be honest with you.
He's gonna hear this.
But actually, he probably can hear me.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh, yeah, or maybe he can. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The technical issues will just work their way out, mate. So yeah, I mean, it must be hard for you to write then. Well, I suppose it's what you feel comfortable with. I mean, I thought you were going to come back with a ski mask on then, because so I suppose it's what you're comfortable with. You're comfortable with doing your situational stuff, and Dale's comfortable with his one-liners.
Yeah.
I do write basically on like situational, things like things are happening around me. Um, so what's the other set? I'm writing a set basically on how I don't drink tea as an adult, but I do drink squash. So that's just something, yeah. Because obviously, Britain being big tea drinkers, and they're like, "What? You're British? You don't drink tea?" Yeah.
Yeah. But you do drink Vimto.
Yes, and Ribena, but you've got to stay away from Ribena. You pour it too strong, and it's like you've just had a shot of vodka.
Yeah.
Who was at your front door?
It was a parcel, mate. Fucking wife. Fucking does my fucking head in, right? I never have anything delivered. It's like very, very rare, like Christmas time. And I work from home, and I can guarantee, like, at least 4 or 5 times a fucking week, I'm taking parcels in from some bellend who lives with me.
I have them daily. 4 or 5 a day, mate. 4 or 5 a day.
Fucking
Some of
crazy,
them
isn't
can't come having Christmas dinner with us this year, mate.
it?
Fucking,
I
honestly,
blame COVID on this. It's like before, people did used to go out shopping, didn't they? But now it's just Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. And I literally
Yeah.
got there. He was just putting the fucking parcel in my bin as I got there.
so I said to Dale, you were probably having a fag at the back door.
I don't smoke anymore. I use this, my lightsaber. Yeah,
Disgraceful.
but yeah, yeah. There's loads of different styles of comedy, isn't there? And I always I always wanted to be an observational comedian. That's how I wanted to be, and
Mm.
it's just very fucking hard, isn't it? To be an observational
I
comedian is probably the hardest.
I see the world quite differently. Like I've never been assessed, but I mean the way I see things is a lot different to how everyone else does. So it's a bit easier for me to see something that maybe the normal person wouldn't. And then if I'm out with my friends walking and I'll see something and the way my mind thinks of it, I'll say to him that, and he'd be like, "Oh, do you know what? I never even would have thought of that." And it can be quite funny sometimes. So that's why I wanted to get into comedy because I'd just be out with my friends and stuff, maybe down the pub on a weekend or just going out for a walk somewhere, or when I worked in kitchens. I mean, kitchens, like Charlie, they've got a dark sense of humour. So a lot of things happen around the kitchen that are quite funny.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so it's really good to chat to you regarding comedy because it's like it's my passion. I absolutely love it. So hopefully one day I'll do it for a living, and whatever, and it won't just be like a side quest, so to speak. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a long, hard slog. But I think even if it doesn't become like a full time thing, I think I'll always be in it somehow. It's one of those. It's like you get the bug and you just keep going. Some of the
Yeah.
reasons like why I've quit and whatnot in the past have been down to like my kind of mental health, and obviously the podcast. We talk about mental health. all mental health, but obviously because we are men,
Yeah.
there does tend to be a leaning towards men's mental health. And if you've watched the last couple of podcasts that we've done with Callum and Big Sean, they go quite deep into mental health. Now, obviously, mentioned previously when we were prepping for the podcast that you've suffered yourself with your mental health. How are you with that now? Are you kind of okay at the moment, or do you still
Well,
suffer?
ever since I got out of the chefing industry, it has helped, massively because I've got a bit more of a social life and things like that now. Um, but I can't thank the comedy scene enough. They're a really supportive lot. I've had more support and made more friends in the past year and a half of doing comedy than I did in 16 years of chefing. Um,
Mm.
there, I mean, I enjoy uh, going to new material nights and trying out new material and things like that. Sometimes it's a bit scary if it doesn't work and things. But now, for me, I enjoy the social aspect more of it. So turning up to a gig and being like, "Oh my God, you're here! Yeah, how you doing? No, I haven't seen you for a while. Oh, you're here as well. Yes." And watching other people perform as well, not just performing myself. It has helped out my mental health massively.
Mm.
It's every comedian we get on here says that.
Yeah,
Every single one. I mean, I mean,
They're
I'm not I'm not in the comedy community at all. And so so it's every one of them says it must be an amazing community.
it really
they're
is.
really supportive, aren't they, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's some right fucking idiots as well, but
You haven't
generally,
encountered any yet.
yeah, I have. But you go through it for years and years, on and off, 15, 16 years. You're bound to bump into a few knobheads, but generally, like 9 out of 10 people are great, and there's all at different levels. You do find when you start moving into sort of doing pro nights, so you get in the middle spots, do the open tens and the middle spots on those, that diminishes a little bit. So the bit of advice I would give is just keep doing, even when you get to that level where you're moving on to the more professional bills and stuff, still keep doing the open mic and going and doing new material and stuff, obviously because you want to test your new material, but because it keeps you in that community. Because it becomes a bit more lonely as you go up the ladder, because you might go up and you might get a middle spot on a pro bill, and you've got an opener, you, and a closer. So it's like you might not know those two people, and they're professional comedians. They do it full time. They might not have time for you to chat to you and stuff. So it's a different world. But that grassroots comedy where we are, and the community that's built around there, and it's obviously built in different areas. I'm from a different area to you, and Sean and Callum are from a different area as well. They're from like the Sheffield area, and they both spoke about that community on the last two podcasts that we did. So it's massively important, just to know that you've got
Yeah.
people there who do have your back, and you can chat to, you can get advice from, and all that good stuff. It just really does help. And
Yeah.
my
Obviously,
issue.
sorry. Sorry.
No, go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Obviously, as you know, the comedy scene is predominantly male. You do get a few females, but it's very difficult to either book a female or because it is predominantly men. But it's good, that other men have other men to talk to, basically. That is sort of like a social group, and it's lovely to talk to the females as well, the women. But it's a
Yeah,
good support group for men's mental health and stuff on the comedy scene right now, I think.
yeah. I think the two things that always run through when we talk to people about comedy is that there's a great community of people out there to support you, and you support them, they support you, they're your friends, you become friends. But the other thing is that most comedians have got some form of mental health issue or neurodiversity, or whatever it may well be. So it's a melting pot of people that probably need that support, really. And to find something that you love to do and to have that such great support behind you, it's really important. And like you say, from a male perspective, you know, we've always been kind of taught to just crack on with it. I mean, you know, we talked about the whole man up thing on, you know, the last podcast we did with Sean. And, you know, that's what we've always been kind of, it's been drilled into, is you just have to crack on, you just have to get on with it and don't, you know. But comedy for me, I talk about my issues on stage. I talk about the fact that I've had alcoholism issues. I talk about mental health issues on stage. You know, I talk about the health issues I've got, diabetes, liver disease. I talk about all that stuff on stage, and it's almost like, you know, it's light relief. You know, it's true and it's real, but it's, you know, it's light-hearted at the end, isn't it? It's like you know, you build it in, and it's really good. What kind of I suffer depression, anxiety mainly. That they're my two kind of things that I suffer with. Me and Charlie are both very similar on that, and we've kind of been going through it for lots of years. I mean, I'm 46, Charlie's 56, 57, I can't remember.
22 plus
22 stone, and yeah, so we've been going through it for a hell of a long time. So I'm off the medication and stuff like that now, and it's like, you know, building defense mechanisms and all that kind of stuff to try and get through it. But what is that kind of similar for yourself? Is it a bit of depression, anxiety kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's, depression and anxiety. I found I was on medication like on and off over the years. Um, but then I found getting out of like the chefing industry helped quite a lot as well because I would drink quite a lot while I was working as a chef because it is very stressful shifts. I mean, you're getting home late and sometimes you know you're buzzing after work. And you just can't switch off. So just a couple of drinks, yeah. I'm guessing you know Charlie. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it becomes a
Everything.
pattern then as well. I mean, you finish work and you're already in a pub, so you know what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the bar. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, ever since I got out of that, and I mean the alcohol, you know, won't help really, you know. Um, so since I got out of that, you know, um, I'm not stressed as much from working with the other chefs. Not working long hours. I'm actually getting good sleep. I'm actually getting, you know, eating properly. Um, so yeah, I found that's helped, and obviously I can, you know, go out for walks and socialize, and I think that's a great antidepressant.
yeah. Yeah, there's a really good message here, and I think, well, before I hand over to Charlie, that if you, I can remember it was an old boss of mine, and he said to me, if what you're doing doesn't make you happy, stop doing it, and do
Yeah,
something else. You know, if you're in a relationship that doesn't make you happy, get out of it. If you're in a job that doesn't make you happy, get out of it. If you're doing something, you know, if you've got people in your life that don't make you happy or are toxic, get fucking rid of them. And that is good. And you know, find stuff that makes you happy and gives you that zest and buzz for life. And we found comedy. Charlie likes dressing up in suspenders and stuff. You know, everyone to their own, isn't it? You know what I mean? So anyway,
I
thanks.
have a bit of a story.
Go.
Oh, sorry,
Sorry.
I just got a bit of a story to add on to that. So yeah, similar. I've been saying the same thing to myself, which I want to say on stage one time. Um, like so what done it for me to get out of the chefing industry was I'd always get told by head chefs and managers and stuff, Dale, you're a nice guy, but, and I think for anyone to say you're a nice guy, but it's a problem, get away from that person, get out of that job,
Yeah.
get away from it. Because if they're saying, oh, you know, you are a nice guy, but like it's an issue, or you're a nice girl, you know, but you, no, it's wrong. Just get away from there.
Yeah, it's like when that lass says to you, isn't it? You're a lovely bloke, but I don't want to go out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, fuck off.
Well, I never got
Fuck.
that.
Plenty
Yeah.
more fish in the sea. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining us, Dale.
Cheers,
It's
Dale.
been
Thank you
really
very much.
nice chat, and you know, maybe in the future we'll get you back on. Hopefully, I can come down to South Wales, and hopefully we'll gig with you gig together at some point. It'd be really nice to see you set and everything like that, mate. But
Yeah,
before we
nice
do
to
go, yeah, it'd be great, mate. It'd be really nice. And if you bring your brother Peter along, we'll have a right sing song.
Oh, mysterious.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get the
Karaoke.
melody right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway,
Gary Barlow. Go on.
I need to hand over to Charlie. If you've watched our podcasts, Dale, you'll know that Charlie always closes our pod out for us. So without further ado, I've talked a lot and Charlie hasn't. Lazy footwit. I will pass over to Charlie.
Thank
Hi,
you, Chris.
Dale. He talks a lot because he can't fucking shut up. Right. Yeah. So you obviously know about the Funny Farm Showdown because you've watched it before.
Yes, yeah, I've been following it on TikTok, YouTube. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then we'll gauge how good you are. Right. Okay. You'll know this. So help yourself. Just sing along. Welcome to the Funny Farm. The lads are back causing harm, talking shite but full of charm. It's the Funny Farm Showdown. Hello and welcome to this week's Funny Farm Showdown. And today's topic is animals most likely to be a chef.
Okay.
He's not watched this before, has he?
Oh, yeah.
I have watched a few episodes. I haven't made it to the end. Sorry.
So you need to give us.
You're obviously that fucking exciting.
So you need to give us
No,
an animal that you believe would make a good chef and reasons why. And you'll win because he fucking never.
oh, I don't know.
Do you want to go first, Chris?
No?
It's like
An animal that
any
would make a
animal,
good.
could be an insect or anything.
Anything like that.
Anything.
Well, I mean, spider would be a great chef. It's got 8 legs. It can do so many things. Stir all the pots all at once.
Hmm? That is a good choice. I think you're all missing out on the trick here, but anyway.
I've no idea on this one. To be fair, I was going to say an octopus for the same reason, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I had octopus not so long back. But I'm going to go octopus because it's got like loads of legs, and it'd be able to hold spoons and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, or maybe a parrot. Actually, maybe a parrot. I'm going to go parrot because if you think about Gordon Ramsay shouting at people and telling them what to do, shouting up service, it's got to be something that can talk, hasn't it? So a parrot. And the winner is a spider.
I can't believe you never thought of rat. Haven't you
Oh,
seen
no, they're dirty and
Ratatouille?
filthy. Yeah, but they're filthy and
No.
dirty.
Yeah, but every restaurant's got one.
So this week's winner is me.
Oh, there we go then. Charlie's won. He doesn't normally get involved. He used to, but he never won, so he stopped getting involved, Dale. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this week's Funny Farm pod. Anything you want to plug or anything like that? Your socials or anything like that, Dale?
Well, like I said, we run Road Test Comedy in South Wales, like sort of Caerphilly area. I have got an Instagram, but I barely use it. I'm more of a Facebook kind of guy. But yeah,
Ooh.
sorry, go on.
Could you do us a favour, Dale? If you get us Funny Farm Pod on your Facebook page, when you get onto our page, click the 3 little dots and ask all your friends to follow us so I can get out to this football shirt. If you can do that.
You are so close, I've seen. You're really close now, aren't you?
I know if you can ask your friends to follow us, that would be amazing. But anyway, sorry, you're plugging stuff.
Yeah, apparently you've had one of my comedy friends on before, Danny Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who was that? Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Danny.
and we've
Yeah.
had Gareth Morris. And Gareth Morris.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
oh yeah, well, I bought Gareth's book. Really helpful as a guide for beginning comedy.
Actually, I was going to plug that actually because Gareth has got a book out called The New Comedian's Guidebook, the essential guide to launching your stand-up career. You can
I
buy
have
it
it.
on Amazon, guys. So if you haven't got it, get onto Amazon and buy it.
Yeah, even if you don't do
Sorry.
comedy, but you're interested in how it all goes on behind the scene, I'd recommend it. I know a couple of
Yeah.
friends of mine that don't do comedy, but they've bought it, just as an interesting read.
Is it on Audible yet?
Pardon?
Is it on Audible yet?
I'm not sure. You'll have to ask Gareth about that.
Yeah, I'll have a word with him. I'll have a word. All right. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us, Dale. Thank you to Charlie for whatever he's done today. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram,
Showdown?
TikTok. Hey, the showdown, yeah, he does the showdown. We are
Yeah, yeah.
eating. We are doing an eating challenge on Friday. We are doing raw celery, no dips allowed. We both fucking hate celery, so we're doing it just for fun. And we're going to
Terrible. I love
start.
celery.
I hate
Oh.
celery; it's awful.
I'll eat anything. I've had dog's testicles and everything. But I'm fucking not eating salad.
On
His
purpose,
dog
or
didn't. His dog didn't like it. But we are going to start doing like challenges and things like that. So if people can email in or messages on the pod Facebook. So it's hello@funnyfarmpod.co.uk or on our Facebook. Drop us a comment. I've put a video out today asking for suggestions on eating challenges that we could do. Bear in mind we are diabetic, so I'm sure that's going to be like loads of cakes and shit now I've said that. Yeah, please drop us a line and let us know what you want us to do. We will be doing some where we meet up, so that's not out of the question. So any suggestions like that could be remote or meeting up. Please let us know what you want us to do, and we will try and do them. Please follow me on Facebook, Chris Richmond, and also on Instagram and TikTok @Chris Rich Comedian. And you can see how shit I am at stand-up. Anyway, have I missed anything, Charlie boy?
No, that's it. That's it. Just follow us. Follow us on Facebook, please.
Yeah, follow him
I
on
want to
Facebook.
get off the shit.
And we all know that the parrot was the real showdown winner. But anyway, we love you all. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Dale.
See you guys. See you guys, mate.
thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you.